Hey folks, so I started doing monthly update videos, but I actually haven't done one in a couple of months, and so I wanted to pick back up on that and just kind of let you know where I'm at and what I'm looking at for the future. Mostly talking about the idea of me just trying to seek out some opportunities in the space, which you may have seen some tweets from me about that already. I'll try to make this video very quick and brief because there's not too much to talk about, but I did want to hit on some topics. Obviously, since the last time I did a monthly update video, I haven't done so much, just Dreamhack Summer, which I already did a vlog on my YouTube channel that talks about that event and reflects on it in great length, so definitely check that out if you want to. But yeah, there hasn't been so much I've done since Dreamhack Summer, and it looks like on the broadcasting end there won't really be too much for me to do for some time now, and I'm actually really uncertain on when I might do more broadcasting work, or if I'll even do more broadcasting work. You never really know as a freelancer unless you're able to book in advance, and right now I'm not booked for anything. There's certainly some chances for me maybe to do some more stuff with Dreamhack, as they are going to have some events on North American soil in September and October with Montreal and Denver, so I may be involved with those events. I may not, who knows, just depends on if they hire me or not. I think I will at least be doing maybe some qualifier commentary for them for Dreamhack Montreal, which is coming at the very beginning of September, so maybe I might commentate some of the qualifiers for Montreal at some point in August. I'm not really sure, but other than that, there's really not too much that I know about. Like I said, I'm not booked for anything. Certainly, I'd like to get back into doing, more broadcasting work. That's obviously like my favorite thing to do in the space. It's, a passion of mine. It's a dream of mine to pursue that. And so, I'm certainly going to be keeping my, ear to the ground, so to speak, on chances. And that's part of it. And I may even shift back to doing analyst desk work. That's also something that I love doing. And, while it seems like there's been kind of a wave against me lately, when it comes to social media and stuff like that. Obviously, at this time last year when I was doing analyst desk work, that's where I saw the most growth I've ever seen as far as my social media following and my reputation and things of that nature. When I was doing E-League Season 1 and Gfinity stuff and ECS stuff, I was really starting to take off as an analyst. And now it's a lot harder, though, because there's a lot more former professional players, that have retired, that are doing the desk. Like Sponge is a big example of this lately. You even saw Freiberg doing some stuff, though he made return to a player who really knows. And in any time there's a player who's, kind of in an interim period between teams, like Pimp lately, those are always people who are selected. So it's a lot harder to do analyst desk work now. It's not like I've turned down analyst desk work, I guess is the biggest point. I'm certainly still open to it, though I was certainly focusing on commentating with Vince there for a while, and I'm still open to doing that as well. It just depends on what opportunities are out there. I can't really be too picky. I have to kind of basically just be adaptable and just be open to anything and just try to be flexible. I mean, that's really the bottom line, especially in my position, as I'm not really established in any role right now. So I just have to kind of, be flexible. That's really the best way to put it. And I am going to do that, and we'll just have to see what opportunities come my way. Certainly, I'm still actively seeking that out, though, like I said, with the player break coming up, with there being a bit of a down period for a little bit with tournaments, it's obviously, going to be a bit before I'm going to be able to get into anything. I'm also seeking opportunities outside of broadcasting, as you may have seen in my tweet. I'm certainly looking to do content related stuff, mostly, whether that be writing or video content, interviews, whatever. I'd really like to, get out there and do some other stuff alongside commentary and just try to use that to try to, get a little bit more stability as far as the work that I can get and the money that I can make, as obviously I do have responsibilities I have to tend to. I have bills to pay, and so if I can find any other types of work in this space, particularly content related, I would love to do that and just try to get involved in as much as I can in that regard. I already have several ideas for articles I'd like to write if I can find a writing gig, or I could use those same ideas to do video content. Certainly, again, keeping my ear to the ground on that and seeing what I can come up with. I'm also open to really any and all opportunities in this space, whether that be more behind the scenes type stuff, or whether that be production stuff, or just whatever the case may be, maybe being behind a camera instead of in front of one, or just whatever. I'm certainly open to hearing out any and all opportunities in the industry is really the way to put it. Even branching out into other games is certainly an option as well. Certainly I have my eyes on Battalion 1944, but that still seems to be a way off from like really being something to compete in. Like they're still in very early alpha phases for that game. That's certainly a game I have interest in, and I'm certainly, willing to hear out other things. I mean, other people in the CSGO scene, you certainly see them branch out at times, and I'm certainly open to that as well. I just want to find my place in the industry, I guess you could say. I want to be able to keep making my passion my career. Now, if I can't do that over the course of the rest of this year, maybe, starting next year, I'm going to have to shift to a new career path and leave esports behind and just leave it as a hobby. It was a hobby all through school for me, and then it kind of turned into a job after I graduated because I was starting to pick up work. But now I'm at a point now where I'm kind of at a down period again, and unless I can start picking up some work, then it may just have to go back to being a hobby, and I may have to shift how my future goes, so to speak, in that regard. So anyway, as far as my work goes as a commentator and analyst and content creator and all that good stuff goes right now, it's kind of at a standstill. I'm certainly just trying to reach out to people, trying to look and see what positions are open, trying to put myself out there and hoping that I can come up with something. During this downtime, I have certainly spent a lot of time reflecting and looking back at some of my old content and trying to self-critique, as well as get peer critique and community critique. I feel like people think that I just ignore it, but no, it's just about me having thick skin and trying not to have a loser's mentality and trying not to just succumb to every single comment on the internet. But certainly I do see that stuff, and certainly I have been trying to focus my efforts on trying to become more concise, trying to slow down my talking speed, and trying to be able to just be a better commentator and analyst if in fact those opportunities come up again. Certainly I think some of the stuff that people say about me is just totally unwarranted, especially whenever people say I know nothing at all about the game and everything I say is inaccurate. I think that's just a bit unfair. But when it comes to other things, certainly when it comes to my delivery and my technical skills as a broadcaster, those are certainly things that I'm looking at while there's this down period. I'm certainly spent some time looking through some VODs and talking with people and trying to make sure that I set myself up for being the best I can be next time an opportunity arises on the broadcasting end. And then, like I said, just being open to other jobs in the industry. And, I have my LinkedIn all organized now with all my experience and my, links to publications, whether that be feature pieces I've written or video content I've done or commentary or analyst samples, all that's on my LinkedIn profile, which I put in the description below if you're interested in looking into that. And that's pretty much it when it comes to work stuff. As far as other fun stuff I do content-wise, myself and Vince, you may know him as Meta still, but he goes by Vince now entirely. He's kind of rebranded. We still do the Digital Discourse podcast where we talk about TV shows and movies and just, video games and just other interests of ours outside of esports. We did a couple of pilot episodes, and then we did like our first official episode not too long ago, and I believe we're going to be recording another episode soon, and we're going to continue trying to do that on a pretty regular basis, and that'll be located on his YouTube channel if you're interested in seeing some other content from me that's not esports related, as well as from Vince. Just trying to do that together. We just kind of let loose and talk for an hour and a half about our interests. We talked about just different movies and TV shows we enjoy, and eventually we'll talk about music, I'm sure. And we touch on some video games. Like I think the last podcast we did, we talked about some stuff that came out of E3 we're interested in. And I think that the next episode we'll do, depending on when you watch this vlog, we'll be talking about some of the trailers that came out of the San Diego Comic-Con. Just general interest stuff, basically, but still kind of related to the industry, so to speak, or at least not too far from it, is some other content I do. And outside of that, it's just about trying to be a better me. I've talked about in other update videos about me trying to focus on dieting better and getting, fit and, working out. And I've definitely made a lot of progress in that regard since I started. The heaviest I've ever weighed was about 235 pounds, and that was early 2016, and now I'm somewhere around the 210 mark. So I've lost between 20 and 25 pounds over the last 6 to 8 months, I guess. It's really not impressive. I should have lost more than that, but I hit a couple of plateaus, and I had a couple of spurts of a few weeks where I was traveling a lot, and so it was a little bit harder to work out as much or diet as much as I would like to. And then some of it was just plain me not being disciplined and kind of cracking. And it's fun to have a cheat day here and there, but once you start doing it too often, you start cutting into your calorie deficit, and you just plateau because of it. So really been trying to focus on that more during the downtime. I have lost a few pounds over the last just week or two, and I'm going to just keep trying to do that. My first goal is to try to get below 200 pounds, which right now I'm about 15 or so pounds away from doing that. And so I'm hoping that over the next few months I'll be able to finally get below 200 and You know, right now I'm the least I've weighed in several years, even at the current moment, and I'm certainly getting stronger and starting to get a little bit better of a build. So I'm just gonna keep going at it, just keep dieting, try to be more strict with my diet going forward. You know, try to increase my workout time even more as far as how much cardio I do. I think my lifting regimen's already pretty decent, but just adding more cardio to it, you know, really getting stricter with the diet and really just trying to hit those goals. And then once I get below 200, I'll set a new goal and try to hit that and just try to, you know, be better in that regard, as well as be better at my job, also just be better in health. So that's really about it. I wanted to keep this video brief. I'm not sure when I'll do another update video. I guess it just depends on if I have enough to talk about at the end of August or not. Like I said, with the down period, there may not be too much to touch on, but I'll certainly keep you updated, and hopefully I'll find some more opportunities and try to stay involved as much as I can, because this is what I love to do, and I hope that I can stick around. And so if you guys enjoyed the video, please follow, subscribe for more content. Thanks so much.